Tilta Khronos review, take one, marker. Accessories manufacturer Tilta has a full ecosystem of accessories for the Apple iPhone that helps expand mobile phone usage as a formidable filmmaking device. There are a ton of different parts within the Khronos ecosystem, so let's jump right in and review the variety of builds you can create with these parts. Hi, I'm Graham Ayler-Sheldon. Welcome to CineD. It's no surprise that we are now in a place where the vast R&D resources of general services tech companies are going head-to-head with established but smaller camera manufacturers. That the phone can now compete with the mirrorless camera is not something I'm going to devote much space to in this review. What I will say is that more accessories and more apps on the software side have now turned the humble iPhone into a viable filmmaking tool. I'm a local 600 union director of photography with a few strong opinions, and yeah, I've looked down my nose at phones as cameras in the past. I'm gonna be honest about that. The iPhone 15 and iPhone 16 Pro Max have slowly, very slowly, changed my mind about the place for a tool like this in the film and television community. While filming an episode of Challenge Accepted with Michelle Carré, due to a mechanical failure, we found ourselves having to hike out of the jungle. I took out my iPhone as another camera to help capture the scene. Several of those shots made the episode alongside my trusty Canon C300 Mark III and Canon C70 and helped add to the adventure's unscripted nature. On the hardware and software side, phones have improved. However, phones don't hold up particularly well to long shoot days. Lack of changeable battery and media capacity immediately spring to mind. The addition of on-camera lights and timecode devices or audio, these are all things we need for professional filmmaking. Phones just don't have a ton of space for accessories or any mounting points for that matter. Tilta, with their Khronos system, named after the Greek word for time, plans to address a few of those challenges head on. Tilta has made many individual products fit easily with one another. They built an ecosystem out of thin air. Real work went into this, and I was immediately struck by that when I first opened the box. The space-age look of Tilta's products is evident, and the exterior of the Khronos ecosystem is certainly not subtle. From afar, an iPhone rigged up in the Ultimate Kit barely reads as a phone, and instead seems like some kind of high-tech tricorder from Star Trek. It's undeniably cool, and it looks like an adorable little robot when it's rigged up. But it does detract a bit from the phone's ability to blend in while gathering content, something to keep in mind. If you purchase the $499 Ultimate Kit, you get a ton of goodies. You get the Khronos iPhone 16 Pro Max case. It's available in 5 colors. You get the cooling system, Focus PD handle, mini LED lighting panel, Arca quick release adapter, quick release USB-C hub, circular wooden handle, SSD holder and filter tray, ND 0.6 and 1.2 filters, a black and white mist quarter filters. I mean, that's a ton of stuff. I would be hard-pressed to think of something else that should be included in that list. Considering the price point, it feels pretty complete to me. The Khronos case does add a bit of overall weight, an additional 2.45 ounces or 69.5 grams to your phone, in a way that a case from a brand like OtterBox does not. But that weight increase doesn't make it uncomfortable to hold. I do notice the weight more in my pockets though, especially with a Pro Max sized iPhone. I'm sure that weight would be less noticeable on the smaller iPhone variants though. Now beyond that list, Tilta also has created a variety of ND strengths and filter types, and even adapters for different lens options like the T-mount and M-mount. Although M-mount optics from Moment, for example, will vignette on the iPhone 15 and 16. If I absolutely had to think of another accessory option for their system, I wouldn't mind a slightly softer LED panel or clip-on diffusion pieces for that same light, but I'm really nitpicking here. Interestingly, Tilta has updated the early Khronos iPhone case backing to move it away from a card holder design to a built-in stand/grip. I much prefer the new stand design personally, as you really only could fit a credit card or two in the initial version, so this update is a welcome improvement. Of course, to reduce the overall weight, you could always remove that same back stand panel if you want to. I love being able to add softening and ND filters to my iPhone with a simple click. It takes the edge off the digital look of the iPhone. Okay, back to the T-mount adapter for a moment. This adapter won't work with the Moment optics, and you'll need to source compatible T-mount lenses from someone like Photogr. Unfortunately, the definition of T-mount is sliding all over the place these days, so please make sure to check compatibility with the Khronos T-mount adapter before purchasing a new lens. The real centerpiece of the Khronos system is the lockable connection points scattered about the phone case, most of which are electronic contact points that feed power to accessories such as the LED light. You press a small button, place the given accessory into the slots, and then lock the accessory with a tiny lever. Of course, this is a proprietary connection system developed by Tilta and isn't built around a universal Q20 or NATO rail solution, so I'm curious if Tilta would ever open this up for third-party solutions. Only time will tell. You have to be careful with these lockable connection points, especially the handles. Double check to ensure they are clicked into place and locked, or you risk something coming loose during a quick move. There's a separately available Khronos adjustable handle accessory that has a Q20 point on either end and a NATO rail for mounting the Nano 2, follow focus, or another NATO-based accessory, so that might be helpful if you're trying to mount non-tilt accessories to this ecosystem. Of course, this kit works both vertically and horizontally according to your production needs. I'm going to go ahead and single out a few accessory pieces here, starting with the Focus PD handle. This handle has a built-in battery, chargeable over USB-C, and the overall device clicks into the Khronos cage and connects to the Blackmagic camera app. It is also the heaviest piece in the system and could be purchased a la carte for $149 if you don't want it as part of the kit. Given the weight, this was the piece I was most nervous about breaking free unexpectedly from the single connection point, and I just wish there was another connection point for added stability and safety. Connecting the Focus PD handle inside the app is easy by simply scrolling in the Blackmagic camera app settings to Accessories. If the handle is turned on, easily done with a long press on the record button, it pops up in the menu and it's good to go. Unfortunately, you have to connect within the app each time. It won't auto-connect when you turn on the handle and open the app. This handle works really well in conjunction with the Blackmagic camera app. Hitting the record button or pulling focus all feels seamless. Yes, there's the tiniest delay, but it's almost imperceptible when using the handle for operating. The zoom functionality doesn't work quite as well. Hopefully that will be updated in future software updates. The 3.5mm audio port works perfectly when the handle is connected to the phone over the integrated USB-C cable. I tested it with the Rode Video Micro shotgun microphone. Worked great. I also use the Khronos Cold Shoe to connect that same mic, and you need to be a bit careful with the 3.5mm cable that it doesn't cross over the iPhone's camera lenses. I mean, something you gotta be careful about with all cameras. Otherwise, this setup worked very well. This piece of the kit is a home run, generally with the exception of the wonky zoom functionality. Another standout is the rugged USB-C hub designed to play nicely with other devices over USB-C, HDMI, or 3.5mm audio out. The hub is $79 as a standalone purchase, and it's another accessory that's incredibly useful in a host of situations. You can connect the handle to the hub with a USB-C cable from the handle side. In the past, when I purchased a similar accessory from manufacturers not in the film or TV space, I always ended up regretting that decision. Tilta, though, clearly made this hub with filmmakers in mind. I used it with an external SSD drive during testing and found the Arca quick release plate useful for connecting to tripods or a gimbal. As always, we must consider who the perfect user might be for the Khronos system. Feels to me like journalists, social media managers, quick turnaround media professionals, and event coverage folks will find much to like here in the Khronos ecosystem. Of course, cost is a consideration here. An investment in this accessory system could nearly double the overall cost of your camera rig, phone included. And at that point, you're very close to the price point of, a mirrorless camera body. This is something to keep in mind when budgeting out your rig. As the iPhone in particular receives pro-friendly updates like ProRes, external recording, and even log, I can't help but think the user base for this kit is only going to increase over time. Okay, a few final thoughts. A big question remains: what happens when a new iPhone comes out? Easy. Future compatibility with upcoming phone designs is ensured by simply swapping out the camera cage, and you might have to swap out the filters and lens adapters in the future. As a result, I'm comforted by the knowledge that this system won't be obsolete anytime soon. The look of the Khronos system certainly draws interest and mostly friendly questions in public, which could be helpful in branding yourself as a professional, or annoying if you're trying to stay stealthy while filming. Of course, the smaller you make the overall rig, the more incognito you are. With the Khronos ecosystem, Tilta has embraced the fact that phones are now capable filmmaking devices. In general, this entire system is well thought out, and I'm excited to see Tilta Khronos evolve over time, pun intended. All right, really quick on pricing. Tilta has broken down the Khronos ecosystem into 3 colors: white, space gray, and black, though there are more color options for the iPhone cage, and into several kits: Ultimate, Advanced, Basic, and Lightweight, covering both the iPhone 16 Pro and iPhone 16 Pro Max. All these kits are available for the previous generation iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max as well. If you don't have one of those 4 iPhone phone types, you're currently out of luck, at least for now. Each kit is available for the following price points as of this publishing: Ultimate, $499, Advanced, $247, Basic, $188, Lightweight, $135. Now, there's no price difference between the iPhone 16 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro Max compatible kits, but the iPhone 15 kits tend to be on sale versus the newer iPhone 16 kits. Small Rig, Moment, Freewell, Newer, and even memory manufacturer SanDisk have accessory cages for different versions of the iPhone 15 and 16, though Tilta's offerings tend to be a little bit pricier. In fairness, you're just getting more components with Tilta's system though. All right, that's it. Yeah, it won't help you hide in a crowd. It makes your phone a little bit heavier overall, but in the grand scheme of things, the Khronos adds loads of features, and the ability to just click in softening and other filtration is fantastic. As I alluded to earlier, you have to ask yourself though, if you're gonna spend this kind of money on your iPhone accessories, maybe consider looking at a mirrorless camera instead. But look, I get the argument that your phone, well, it's gonna travel with you everywhere, and it's a formidable filmmaking tool in its own right. Okay, thanks for watching. A big thank you to Rev Studios in San Diego, California for their help with this review. Check out revstudios.com if you want to book their beautiful studio space.